Con todo derecho, un lugar sin rumores ni fantasmas. Con todo derecho, un lugar sin rumores ni fantasmas.
You're always wrong. They are wrong. Why are they always wrong? Because, I'm talking about the University of Moron. The University of Moron is not the Argentine state. The University of Moron is not the Argentine state. That's why you're all wrong. I know that's going to be a dispute between Gustavo Galarza and the University of Moron. If the University of Moron allowed the Argentine state to committing crimes there, and if the University of Moron allowed the Clarin Holding to committing crimes there, and Mario Pergolini to committing crimes there, the University of Moron is solely and exclusively responsible, and there will be a lawsuit against the University of Moron. The Argentine state will indeed face the appropriate legal action for interfering in crime of persecution in every private sector, but each private sector will have to answer for itself, face to face with Gustavo Galarza. Thought it the law, kid, you're not representatives of Moron University, and this is to put the proof of Mario Testino. Mario Testino is Anna Wintour assistant, fashion photographer, and international fashion shows appear, especially in Milan, New York, Paris, and London. Now you'll see that we gathered evidence from 2 fashion shows. One is Mugler Spring Summer 2015 and the other is Burberry Spring Summer 2015. On the Burberry collection, which is in London, you'll see that it's Kate Moss next to Mr. Testino, and Mr. Testino has a yellow sheet of paper in his hand, being safe, and he is wearing black shoes. The shoe code was introduced by my dad Jorge Galarza when he was alive. And how the Pergolini complaint is told and how already, and they are wearing black shoes and he has a yellow card in his hand and there is a black bag below. There's a black bag underneath. Well, Mario Testino plays the alter ego of Mario Pergolini. It means that Anna Wintour and the United States government always knew about the productor de TV Mario Pergolini at the University of Moron. Well, Mario Testino comes to corroborate Mario Pergolini at the University of Moron and the Clarin Holding and the nation at the University of Moron. I barely fell into the first class one had after computer graphic design. I was the first day I entered at the University of Moron. And the second class was the class of the professor of Clarin newspaper, which was a class 1 where it was about written journalistic articles, graphic journalism too. The first thing they did was set up an ambush with my classmates. Let's tell the fact. I was monitored. All know that I'm always under state surveillance. So, I went to the first hour of the computer graphic design class, but by that hour I already had the graphic journalism class 2 superimposed. So I went to the second period. When I finished computer graphic design class 1, move on to the other class. It was in the other building, the main building, right. I go another building, one around the corner. Since it was all planned, they already knew that I was going to go there after computer graphic design class, so I leave the computer graphic design, I go to the other building, I go up the stairs, or, I suppose. I go up the stairs because I almost never took the elevator, and even less so during rush hour then when everyone comes and goes to classes. So I go up the stairs. I think I was on the 4th floor, so when I get to the 4th floor, I look for the classroom. I mean, you're in the hall and there are corridors that lead to the classrooms. So I enter the hallway of the classroom of graphic journalism 2. I enter the hallways and by, let's say, the first window wasn't it was the second, 4th, it wasn't it. Then I looked and it was recess. Then I looked. On this side the classroom was occupied and on this side it was unoccupied. Then I looked through the window and all the bags were there. I went to the stairs to wait for them to come back. When they come back, when I see all my classmates come back, after recess all my classmates come back. Then everyone gets into the course and I get into the course too. So when I enrolled in the course, all my classmates started reviewing their portfolios and bags. Obviously, they all started checking their bags and I sat next to. I didn't know any of the classmates, only Angelica. And I sit next to Angelica, whom I already knew from first and second year. I take her home or pick her up when I went to university. In my car. So we were very well-known friends and she already knew that in 2001 my classmates were harassing me, so back in 2004 I barely sat down and it was all very obvious. Angelica told the girls, Gustavo is not like that. And well, that's it. Well, now that was the welcome with the Clarin professor. Then I had a professor who was from La Nacion's newspaper, who was also dating one of my ex-classmate in 2004. One of my ex-classmate who had already graduated, Gloria Vitali, now they repeat Dario Vitali in fashion. Now at Versace, Dario Vitali, Gloria Vitali. She was adult. When I started at university I was 27 years old and the guys were kids, 20 years old for example, so Vitali was already my age when I started first, she was already about my age. If I was 27, I was already around 26, 25. Well, she was old. Now, we'll tell you because afterwards came the ambush with the advertising professor who was Pergolini, and what do you in the ambush with Valeria Romero, who also remembers the CTD video of the case of the girl, the lawyer from the Go, I think it was called Republican Base, where her name was Valeria Viola. Well, everything is connected and Valeria Viola is involved with Valeria Romero. It seems they also made an ambush with Valeria Romero and Pergolini or the PBA police. And Mario Pergolini is the one who told Lorena about the False Anabella case. So bingo. Mario Testino is there because he plays Mario Pergolini and he's there because of the University of Moron. And he's there because they chases me in the University of Moron. And he's there because he's Peruvian. Another key, Peruvian. In PM paper there were two Peruvian, as Gustavo recounts in Captain America there was. Gustavo says that there is a Peruvian named Donnie. Yes, Donnie in it now they repeated it. Well, there was Donnie, of course, they repeated it in the Infoby News or Purple News. Donnie the Peruvian and Kanish or Poodle as they called him. They mentioned the poodle again on a note in this weekend. Of course, I just can't remember its name. Well, Donnie is his name, the Peruvian guy. Daniel I don't remember his last name. And his brother-in-law, whose nickname is Poodle, his name is Victor Kenish. Peruvian boys were excellent. But these make the association for the ideas of robberies. That's why Mario Testino is there, because he's Peruvian and also, by the way, they also use it completely for the idea of the photo, that there would be a photo of Gustavo compromising, lies. Mario Testino is in these two shows without Anna Wintour. But there are a lot of shows from the year 2000 where Mario Testino is with Anna Wintour by his side. So that you understand that the United States government always known from the pursuit in the University of Moron and Testino is for the University of Moron and the fashion is for the broad spectrum of the pursuits of the United States and Argentine government. Fake guests by them, you understand. So Mario Testino is because of Mario Pergolini. I already knew that, but now that the whole case has been exposed, Anna Wintour and the United States government always knew it. It was known that the persecution of the University of Moron was carried out by Mario Pergolini and that the Federal Police PFA, the PBA Police, the Pergolini producer and the two media, you understand, it transferred me to PM paper of the Miter family. So I've closed the performances of Mario Pergolini and his production company. It's completely closed, because Vogue USA tell you, Mario Testino plays like Mario Pergolini, and the Pope Leo XIV, is Peruvian. Nothing here is a fortuity involving the United States government and that Peruvian American. And as Gustavo told, regarding Pope Francis's election and Ratzinger's resignation, Gustavo suspects that Pope Francis was put there. As the story goes, Gustavo, they themselves validate everything, they keep validating it, so everything is connected to everything for them. And they persist in sustaining all those lies forever. Well, that's what we're going to take to court so they can clarify everything, all their lies and fabricated persecution. So Mario Testino is Mario Pergolini because of Mario and because of Peruvians, because he is Peruvian and because of idea of the photo because he is a photographer. These are all false ideas that they repeat. Another idea they reiterate is to make fun of L'Oreal. Well, like the last time L'Oreal was there, in the last few years Cara Delevingne was always there. Now you already saw that Cara Delevingne is sitting nearby with Mario Testino. The last time they made fun of me with Cara Delevingne and with Eva Longoria came out of between the public, and besides they said, watch out for Eva Longoria comes out of the public. I mean because of Christina Kirchner prisoners and the other one, Andy McDowell. Everything is interconnected. Because Andy McDowell has his daughter working at Chanel when she's a minor, and so at Chanel there's Johnny Depp's daughter, there's Teen Kettle Jenner, there's Johnny Depp Rose's daughter, and there's Andy McDowell daughter, who is also a